because I'm scared I'm
Welcome
gonna.
to Dad Pixels Gaming Pixel Gaming Dad Pixels podcast 2.0. Bigger, harder, faster.
Sounds like something Daft Punk would fucking. That's the Daft Punk intro.
Yeah. That's what I was going for. I'm glad you picked up on
You nailed it exceptionally well.
Nailed it! But for reals, though. Welcome. And hopefully this time with less echo on my end. Who knows? We're just gonna experiment.
Only time will tell.
Yep. Joining us here today is myself, Trisha, and Ross over there.
Good evening. So, yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to get started this week by making an apology, Trisha.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
Last week I think I was a little bit unfair towards Fallout 3. I said it sucked and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. So after the podcast, I thought I'm going to give it a second chance. So I booted it up the day after we recorded. And in a week, I've recorded about 30 plus hours of gameplay into it. And I fucking love Fallout now.
Damn right. Damn Skippy.
I remember like the first time I played it, I wasn't enjoying it. And I kept trying to compare it to Oblivion. And I was like, oh, I don't like the guns. I don't like the VAT system. But I feel like everything just kind of gels together perfectly once you get a hold of what you're doing in that game. So I just wanted to say whatever I said last week. I was an ignorant, dumb shit towards it, and I've learned a lot more about the game, and I really fucking enjoy it now. It's just like it's the first game in a while now that's grabbed me and just made me want to play it once I finish work. You know, normally I'm like, I can't be bothered playing games right now, but this game, it's like, shit, I need to get home, I need to go fucking explore, find more loot, and be the baddest motherfucker in the wastelands.
Exactly. You feel like such a fucking badass, just like shooting people down from a distance.
Yeah, I've actually got John playing the game now as well, and he's enjoying it more than he did the first time. I think the problem was, I just felt kind of, I don't know, I felt really weak the first time I played it. Like, you know, one of the first sub quests where you've got to go to the supermarket and get some supplies and shit.
Yeah.
So the first time I went with a fucking BB gun. And I'm getting overpowered by all these raiders with assault rifles and whatever. And I was like, this game's balls to the wall fucking hard. Fuck this game. And now I've just kind of done things in a different order and I've built up my sort of arsenal, got some more weapons and shit. And Jesus, when you feel like I could walk into a building and take on like 5 to 10 super mutants without breaking a sweat now. And I feel so much more. I feel so much more reward, like for clearing out buildings and stuff. And I think the game's just got so much right.
It absolutely does, and I'm so glad you didn't tell me. Like, you texted me and told me that you had something to say, and I'm so glad that's what it was, because that game has, like, forever has a place in my heart. I will always feel like playing it. That's the only game that I could be like, I'm fucking bored, what game do I want to play? Fallout. Every time.
I can't believe I've had that sitting on my shelf for as long, and I've not sat down and gave it the proper time and dedication.
Yeah.
Like, I think I gave it 10 hours in the past, just done, like, the main quest, you know, what I had to do to get by. But now that I've put the time into it and really invested into the game, it's such a rewarding experience. And anybody that's, you know, maybe not looked at it, it's definitely a game worth having a check.
Play it.
Yeah.
Go buy it right now.
I mean, now I've not even finished this, and I'm dying to get some DLC, and then, you know, I'm going to order New Vegas as soon as I get done with it. It's definitely gripped me this time round.
Definitely 100% do that.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on that. I've been waiting.
We can save New Vegas for another podcast, but we should talk about that too.
Yes, I'll let everyone know how my progress with that goes.
Yeah. I love Fallout 3, but I love New Vegas as well.
If you had to pick one?
Fallout 3.
Really?
Yeah. But New Vegas is really fun. It's a totally different, completely different story. There's a lot of different things to do.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same game. It looks the same. It works the same. Just different story, different town.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
it's interesting. Very interesting. And they
Yeah.
had a little perk in that one called Wild Wasteland, where when you're just traveling around, you get this little icon that pops up on the side of your screen when something weird is happening. Like they have a whole bunch of Easter eggs like hidden around.
Right.
I won't spoil any of them for you, but it's a cool perk that they added to that one.
Mm. One of my just before we move on, like one of my favorite things about Fallout is I didn't realize how kind of dark it was. Like I
Yeah.
don't know which vault it was. I don't want to like ruin too much in case anyone hasn't played it. But that one vault you explore when you realize that they were doing like tests on the residents in the vault, and then you start hallucinating and shit. I was like, oh man, I think that's the bit when I experienced that. I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is the
Mm-hmm.
game. But oh man,
Yeah, there's some crazy shit in that game.
I feel like I've not even cracked the surface. That's the beautiful thing about this
Yeah.
game now is like I've put like over whether it's like over 30 hours or something into it, and I feel like I'm just cracking the surface.
Yeah,
That's the thing
you
that's
are.
really good. I've got so much more still to explore and still to witness.
Tons. You could put 100 hours into that game if you took the time to explore everything and do all the side quests.
Oh, I think I will. I think I'm going to top that. I mean, that's 1 week. I can see me. I'm nowhere near fed up with this game. It's got a lot of mileage left in it.
Rad. I could not be more excited that you like that game.
I thought that would maybe be a good some good news for you, Trisha.
You made my day.
Yep. Try my
I just
best.
shed a tear right now.
Oh my god, it's so emotional.
I'm gonna write a very nice letter to Bethesda for you.
Yeah, you should do that. Dear Bethesda, your game is good. Thanks very much. Lols, Ross. Kiss, kiss,
Lols,
kiss.
winky face,
Kiss, kiss, call me sometime.
XXOO.
That's a standard template on my phone. I send that out to everybody. Just so you.
What? Give me a call sometime?
Yeah. No. No. I don't know. I'm babbling.
Okay, anyway, so we'll fucking segue using that, which is not a segue. Just gonna.
Fucking works for me, man.
So this week, as we kind of touched on last week, we want to talk about scary games, and not necessarily our like top 10 or top 5 favorite scary games, but games that you remember as maybe like a milestone in your gaming career, if you want to say that.
Yeah, like games that personally affected you. Like at the time, you just felt terrified, or like Trisha said, not the top 10 scariest games of all time, or not my favorite five, but the five sort of horror scary games, if you will, that really touched you at the time, like really fucking made you
Molested you.
molested you. Perfect word. Yes, thank you. I was searching for that. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
So the first memory I've got of playing a game that really scared the fuck out of me was I'm sitting with my cousin and we're playing the PS1. So at this point, beforehand, I've played like NES, SNES, N64, so I've not really had anything outside a sort of cartoony platformer sort of experience. So I
Right.
don't quote me, but I think the games we were cycling through that day were Tekken, Spyro the Dragon, things like that. And oh, do you want to play some Resident Evil? And I've no idea what the fuck this is. And I'm like, yeah, cool, that sounds fun. So I load it up, don't know what I'm doing. Stumbling through the first couple of rooms, and the first encounter you have with that zombie, I swear to God, I fucking filled my pants with shit that day.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. I was on top of a pile of my own feces in my boxers. But no, but that first experience when it
That part
turns
is
around,
so fucking scary.
yeah, just when it makes eye contact with you and grunts and shit, and then you're like, what the fuck is that? I was not fucking expecting this. And then it fucking starts going towards you. And of course, you don't know the controls, with that clunky ass fucking control mechanics. So this thing's walking towards me, and I'm panicking like shit. And my cousin's sitting there laughing. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get away from me. It's gonna fucking kill me. And oh man, that fucking haunted me for so long. I remember like being downstairs or anything with the lights off when I'm going up to bed at night, and I'd be shitting myself just thinking about that game. And it took so long before I could go back and properly play through that game. I mean, even now, with its really pixelated, shitty graphics. Turning that on, I still feel like that moment of dread and moment of just feeling uneasy when you're going through corridors and you encounter zombies and stuff. And oh man, that game fucked me up, but I love it. Resident Evil is now one of my favorite franchises. But that was my first experience with a game that really fucking freaked me out.
Mhm. It stuck with you.
It's never left. But yeah, I love horror games. But I guess you could say I'm a big pussy. But yeah, thanks to Resident Evil for getting me into all that.
Yeah.
What
Thanks
was
for
your
that.
first experience then?
Well, I think I said on the last podcast that I didn't really get into gaming until high school.
Right.
So PlayStation 2 was my first like big platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I played The Suffering, and that one fucked me up for life.
Just even the opening scene in that game, like your
Yeah.
opening cutscene, and then how you're just left,
Hmm.
just like empty. You don't know what the fuck you're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Building up the
Actually,
courage.
like when I think about it, that or did I think that you and I went back and watched some video of that not too long ago.
Yeah, we
And when
did.
I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my god, the dialogue is so fucking cheesy."
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that when I played it the first time, as I was like, this is gonna be dumb." And then as soon as shit started happening, I was like, "Fuck, I
Mm.
don't know if I can play this." And I was like with one of my friends, and she kept like making me play longer, and we'd have to like take a break every 20 minutes because I'd be like, "I can't fucking do it. I can't do it."
Mm-hmm.
But I think over the span of like a weekend, we ended up playing the entire game.
Yeah, I remember it actually took me quite a while uh, when I got a copy of the game,
Hmm.
just to get the courage to walk out of that cell because
Yeah.
you know shit's gonna get real as soon as you leave that fucking jail cell. Shit's
Hmm.
gonna get twisted and oh man, so many so many good games, like good horror games out, man.
Yeah.
But that's another thing you mentioned, like playing with a friend. That's the one time where I would be the sort of the tough one, the badass. Like
Yeah.
if I'm playing next to someone, I don't fear shit. So it's like, oh, don't be a pussy, go through the fucking door. Come on, man, you can do this. But if you put me in a room like with the lights off, myself playing a horror game, I'll find some excuse to do something else. I'll be like, maybe I'll just I'll come back to this shit later.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
not
just
terribly
set this
important.
down just for a minute.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. That I don't think that's definitely not a game that I think has scared me like to the core or anything like that, but that was one of the very first horror games that I actually picked up and played myself.
Right.
So that one I will always remember.
Mm. Oh, sure, man.
But as far as games that I remember, well, for The Suffering, I think I just grabbed it off the shelf and I was like, this looks kind of creepy. Let's play this.
Mhm.
But like a game that I made it like a conscious decision. I want to play this game. I've heard a bunch about it. I'm gonna sit down and play it. Was Silent Hill 2.
There's a game I've got no experience with. I've never played any Silent Hill games.
Yeah. Well, actually, previous to actually playing Silent Hill 2, I hadn't personally played them, but I had a friend from high school that was kind of our thing. We played all the Silent Hill games together.
Right.
So I had seen part of 3, 4, Homecoming, and there's another one in there. I don't know, but I had seen all of those before I played 2.
Right.
So I was like, I've heard such good things about Silent Hill 2, but it's kind of old. I don't know if it's going to be as scary as everyone says that it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked it up, and if we were making a top 5 or a top 10, that one would probably be my number 1 scariest game ever.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that would say the same, and to be honest, I don't really know why I haven't played it to date. I was really interested when they brought the HD collection out. Like I was dying to play them.
Yeah.
I just heard it was buggy, like we spoke about, and I never bothered
Mhm.
picking it up. I remember seeing a friend play one of the the little playable demos you used to get in PlayStation magazines.
Yeah.
I remember watching him play one of Silent Hill, and this is when I was in pussy mode when I was just terrified. And I think he walks by like a corpse that's got like a sheet over it or something, and you're expecting something to happen, and I'm pretty sure it kind of reaches up at you or something, or it sits up, and it just freaked the shit out of me. And I was like, nope, not playing this for a while. I'm not ready for this shit.
I don't know about that. That might have been in Silent Hill 1. I'm not
Hmm.
entirely sure about that.
I couldn't tell you. I'm pretty sure it was a Silent Hill game.
The second one, you start off and you like don't know what the fuck is going on at all. You're like in this foggy city,
Yeah.
and you just start. It literally just starts you, and so you have to start exploring. And very early in the game, you like walk down this little path, and you go to what looks like a dead end,
Yeah.
and you see your first monster there. And I was like, I cannot fucking play this game. I can't. I literally like put down the controller, came back like a half hour later, and then played for another like 20 minutes. There's another part right after that I swear to God I screamed out loud.
Yeah.
Like, you're walking down this little alleyway, and if you walk too close to the cars, a monster will like reach out and grab at your ankles. And I didn't know that, so I just walked past this car, and I see like arms reaching out for me, and I was like, oh, fuck, no, nope.
So much nope.
So much nope. I'm so done with this game. But I just like, I couldn't bring myself to fully quit it.
Hmm.
It was so like intriguing, even though it's an old game. It didn't have a lot of music unless it was like the cinematic parts.
Yeah.
Um, but for just actual gameplay, I really liked that it was silent for most of it. You could just hear weird stuff in the background, like monsters, and you didn't know where they were coming from.
Hmm. That's like
I don't
that's.
know.
I think that's fantastic when games do that, when they rely on
Yeah.
like a sort of atmospheric sort of ambience to kind of build the tension. I think it speaks a lot more volume for the game, you know,
Yeah.
rather than kind of having, a good soundtrack that,
Yeah.
sets the tone. It's good to just have like a sort of minimalistic approach to that sort of thing.
I agree. Sometimes it feels like a horror game is trying to overwhelm you
Mm,
with like sounds and music and whatnot, almost to try to make it scarier so that I don't know, you get frantic or something.
yeah.
But it's like the opposite. If there's nothing going on, then you're like, holy shit,
Hmm.
something big is about to happen because I hear nothing. And usually that's the case.
Mm.
At
I think
least in that game it is.
before we get off the topic of Silent Hill,
Mm-hmm.
I think, when I come over to Boise, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a game we should sit down and record and have a let's play of, because watching me squirm and bitch about and scream, I think would be entertainment for the whole family. So,
Yes. Dude, I like just thinking about you seeing Pyramid Head for the first time.
hmm,
Like
it doesn't sound
it'll
very
it's gonna suck.
intimidating.
It's gonna
It doesn't sound
suck for
intimidating.
you.
Pyramid Head.
There's so many like memorable moments in that game that I literally was like, I don't know how people play this shit.
uh,
But like normal people, I've seen people that like speed run that game and they can get done in like an hour or 2 hours or something. It took me at least like 6 hours to play
yeah,
that game for the first time because I literally was stopping around like every single corner because I knew that there was going to be something that I didn't like.
yeah,
And that's the sign of a good ass game.
absolutely, man. What about games, on like a more, sort of modern console, like say like 360, PS3, that sort of era? Any games stand out for them?
Yeah, I've got several. Looking at my little list here. Um, I would say Dead Space
Yeah, that's one I
for
played.
sure.
I played that not long ago. John and I played that when he was up, like at the start of the month there, and that's the first time I played through that game. But yeah, at the start of that game, man, there's a couple of like really tense moments. You don't really know what to expect, and that definitely scared the fucking piss out of me for a while.
Yeah.
But it's one of those games I feel you get over really quickly. Like once you know what to expect from the enemies, it's pretty straightforward. You know what's going to be coming around the corners. You know all the skills.
For the most part, there are some different enemies that come out every once in a while.
Mm,
I don't know. I feel like that one did a pretty good job of keeping me on edge from beginning to end.
yeah.
There's one part in particular that I remember. Do you remember you're like stuck in a room? It like locks, the doors lock,
Oh
and you have to
yes.
somehow like find yourself out.
Is this the bit when you're quarantined and there's like a contamination breach or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucking hated that part.
I'm pretty sure I threw the controller at John for that part.
I died so many fucking times.
Really?
Yeah, no, hold on. I'm mixing up two parts. There's a part where at the quarantine where you're stuck in there. That part does suck. But there's another part where you have to fight your first like regenerator. Isn't that what they're called?
Oh, I couldn't tell you what they're called, man.
I think they're called regenerators. It's like you shoot off their limbs as normal, but then they'll only be down for a few seconds and then they'll come back up.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't know if they're called regenerators, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But you're stuck in a room with one of those guys. I think it's the first time that you encounter that
Mm-hmm.
guy, and that part sucked. I died like I don't know, an exorbitant amount of times.
That's
I was
definitely.
gonna quit. I was gonna like rage quit at that part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that actually. I wasn't sure what to expect because I held off playing it for so long, but I'm definitely glad we decided to play it through.
Yeah.
It's one of my more kind of favourite horror games of the past sort of era.
That's a good one.
What about
It was,
Condemned? Condemned was fucking that was a beautiful
oh
game.
yeah. I first played that one in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I started playing it. I played it for about half an hour, and I was playing it with a couple friends. And I played for about half hour. And there's a big scare at the beginning, and I couldn't do it after that.
Really? Did you not finish
Yeah, I
it?
was such a pussy when it comes to that game. Like, even now, it scares me a lot. Like, it's stupid how much it scares me.
Really? Even when we were doing that the playthrough on live stream?
Yeah, I was literally like, every 2 seconds, oh, Ross! No! Oh my god! He's coming at you! There's another guy! There's another guy! Get him! Get him! Get him!
I was like the first time I played that game I was pretty freaked out, but I played through a couple of times to finish off achievements and stuff, so I consider myself more comfortable with that game because I've played it a few times, but when I played it with you, like I had you in the headset in my ear, just screaming, going, Ross, oh my god, there's coming, coming, I can hear him. Can you hear him? He's coming right for you. And I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
he's coming! He's coming!
Oh my god, he's right behind you.
That one scared me a lot. Like, I don't think I personally have played through that entire game myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've played through a good portion of it, but not the entire thing.
I love that game. I marked out so much for that game. I played the demo and I thought, this is different. I really, really like this.
It is so different.
The demo really kind of it fucked with me a bit, but it's one of those ones like I was terrified just because I didn't know what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I played it, I was like, yeah, I need this in my life. I need to go buy this. But the one without saying too much about it, you know the level in the shopping mall. You know where this is going already.
Yes.
The mannequins. Nope. Just so much nope.
Get
And
the fuck
infinite amounts of
out of
nope.
here with that.
That fucking scene. You know what? It's like a 5-year-old game. It's not going to be a spoiler. That
No.
that scene where you're walking down like the narrow sort of part of the shopping mall, and
Mm-hmm.
then you just hear pew, and you turn around and there's like 3 mannequins, and you're like, oh, that's a bit weird. So you continue walking, pew, turn around. There's more, and they're getting
Mm-hmm.
closer and boxing you in until your
Mm-hmm.
only escape is to do your jump down this hole. Man, that fucked with me so much. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, even talking about that now, that freaks me out.
It was such a genius move because you're so into doing what you're doing,
Hmm.
and then you turn around and there are mannequins there, and you're like, were those there before? I can't
Mhm.
remember. And then you turn around and then turn back around, and then you're like, okay, there were definitely not that many there,
Yep.
right? And so like when I personally played it, I just was questioning myself the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like, is the game fucking with me, or do I not know where I'm going? There's another part right at that same area where you like walk past a room and you hear like a voice. It sounds like it's really close. I can't remember. He says something like, I'm going to kill you or something like that, and that fucked me up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think I blacked that bit out. I don't remember that.
it was awful. I was
The-
playing it with a couple friends at the time, and we were like sneaking around trying to avoid all the mannequins and shit.
yeah.
So we like go past this room, and we're looking for like I don't know if they're called health packs in that game, whatever. But
Mm.
anyway, we're looking for health, and we slide into this room, and just like super quiet. You hear that person, whoever it is, you don't know where it comes from, but he says like, I'm going to kill you or something like that.
Yeah.
And me and my two friends just like put down the controller, looked at each other, and we were like, fuck this game.
hmm Remember that bit on the first level? It seemed like we're going to be talking about Condemned for a while here, but we'll move on. But the first level, remember, I think there's like a power cut. The guy, he breaks off the power or removes the circuits or whatever, and you've got to go and try and restore power to the building. And just it's right in the start of the tutorial, and you get electrocuted, fall over. Your gun, falls to the other end of the room, and then you just see this dark figure picking up your gun and walking away with it. The terror I felt, I felt so safe behind my little shitty handgun at that point. And when I seen him walking away with it, I was like, no, 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 this can't be happening. No, don't leave me in the middle of this fucking building with no weapons. So it says a lot. Like a game to set the tone that early in, that just
Yeah.
such a gripping game, man. It was one of my favourite sort of.
Yeah.
That was a launch title, right? I'm sure that was a launch title.
I
For
think you're
360.
right. Yeah.
It was one of the first games I played, I think. It was definitely in the first 5.
Yeah.
But
It's pretty early 360 game, but what was I gonna say? The mechanics of that one are still so different than any other game I've ever played.
Oh, definitely, man. Hmm.
Condemned.
Condemned people.
Condemned. Let's see. Another one that was 360 that I wanted to mention was Alan Wake.
Yes.
For sure. I have a deep love for that game.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that says that that game wasn't scary to them, I think is a fucking liar.
Yeah, I could see that.
While it isn't gory or anything, there isn't like fucking people getting chopped to bits.
Mm-hmm.
It scared me. Like, it kept me on edge the whole
think-
time. And those fucking black figures are terrifying.
Yeah, stole the words out of my mouth. If you haven't, I don't remember what the difficulty levels are called, but I think it was the hardest or second to hardest, where you don't take many hits. When you see a couple of those figures chasing you, the fucking rush you get when you're trying to run to make it to the next like safe spot or street light or whatever it is unbelievable. It's that
And you're
feeling.
running out of batteries.
Yeah, oh man, that feeling. Oh,
That's the worst. I'm like, please, please, fucking God, I just want to get up to this light. Like, that was another game that had the like running option be a big like, I don't know what you want to call it, but usually in games I want to sit and fight all the enemies that I can.
Yeah.
But you just couldn't in that game. So sometimes you just had to fucking run when you were like out of ammo or out of batteries.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anything you could do, and then you'd just be like sprinting, hoping, God damn it, Alan, please do not get tired right now. I don't have time for this shit.
I know. I really like when games do that as well, because one of my pet hates, not just for horror games, but when games give you like an infinite supply of ammo, or not infinite, but they give you enough ammo to get by, or there's health packs around every corner. But I like the way Alan Wake, gave you a sort of limited supply of batteries and your handgun bullets, so you can't just sit and peg shots off every fucking enemy in the game. You've got to strategically plan your approach to completing like the segment of the level, and I think they've done that like fantastically well with that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that if you're just shooting at them wildly, it's not going to do anything. You have to actually like weaken them with your flashlight before you can do any kind of damage.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was pretty cool. And there's the limited sprint, which sometimes pissed me off.
Mm. So if you had to peg like I'm struggling to remember most of this game because it was years ago I
Yeah.
played it. If you had to peg one moment from the game that like really gave you the freaks, what would it be?
Let's see. Well, the first time that you actually see the shadowy figures, you just don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know what they are, you don't know what's going on. He's finding these pages. I don't know what the fuck's happening. That part's really shocking to me.
Yeah.
But there are several like memorable parts that I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get out of here.
Mm.
Like when you go up to the cabin, you like meet this guy up at this cabin, and he basically thinks you're insane.
Mm.
And I think you like, I can't remember exactly what happens. It's been a while, so excuse me. But I think Alan like falls asleep or something like that, wakes up and it's nighttime, and then all of a sudden, like this big fucking like tornado like just tears the shit out of the side of this cabin, and you have to like fight your way out. There are
Mm.
tons and tons of like shadowy figures, and the owner of that hotel or cabin resort thing, whatever it is, he turns into one of them, and you have to like kill him.
Oh Jesus.
And then you have to like drive away after that too. That part was stressful as fuck.
Was that the scene or the segment where there was like the loads of birds in the sky? No.
No.
No, I'm thinking of something
That's
else.
toward, well, there's like 3 or 4 parts like that. But there's
Mm.
one kind of towards the beginning, and then there's one where you're on like a lift. You're going across like 2 mountains, like from one mountain to another mountain. I think that might be actually right after the part I was just talking about.
Oh
But
really?
you're like on this little lift thing, and they just start goddamn dive bombing you.
I definitely need to replay that, man. It's all kind of like
Yeah.
fuzzing in my head, so I can't remember. I remember like little scenes and
Uh,
segments of the game, but they all kind of bleed together in one for me. So I think it's about time I gave that a replay.
yeah, it's a really good game. I like that one. I played American Nightmare also.
How was that?
It was pretty good. It was. I thought it was gonna be like a DLC, but it wasn't. It was a little standalone, little mini
Hmm.
game kind of thing.
I remember looking at it and I was checking it out, and I don't know why, but it didn't appeal to me. It wasn't really getting great reviews at the time, and I never normally let that put me off. But I think there was maybe 2 or 3 other games out at the time that put me off of it. I thought, oh, I'll get around to this later.
Yeah,
But would you
I don't
say,
think that it would matter if you skipped it because it didn't have any huge like plot reveals from what I can remember. It was
yeah,
kind of expensive and it wasn't a lot of gameplay.
well, that was good. That was going to be my next question if it was worth
Yeah,
picking up. But yeah, awesome.
yeah. Let me look at my good old list here.
Good old handy dandy list.
Yep, this is why I made a list because I knew I wasn't gonna remember this shit.
Hmm.
Um, I do want to briefly talk about Bioshock.
Yeah, another game I never
can do
got
that.
hugely into, so it's going to be a one-way conversation on this. But I'll try and peg
Sorry.
that. No, you're cool, man. I've got all the Bioshock games sitting on that shelf,
Uh-huh.
but it's just again I don't know. I buy games and with every intention of playing them, but there's always something else. There's always something
Yeah.
else that grabs my attention. If it's not something that's out at the time, I always just, and if I'm like, oh well, I could start this new game, or I suppose I could replay Super Mario 64 for the 50th time. Uh, yeah,
Well, you should play Bioshock because I think you'd really like it.
yeah.
I picked it up, and it I hadn't been actually playing any games for that long when I first got it.
Mhm.
So when I first started playing it, I was like, holy shit, this game is hard as fuck. Like, it seemed really difficult to me, and so that discouraged me, like, immediately.
Right.
So I played it, I don't know, maybe for like a half hour, and then I turned it off, and I didn't play it again until like maybe 2 years later or something.
Mm.
And then when I did play it again, I really enjoyed it. It is still a pretty difficult game, I think. Other people might disagree. Maybe I just suck at games, I don't know. But I thought it was pretty difficult, and it was a lot like of a darker story than I thought it was going to be.
Uh huh.
I kind of saw it. I don't know, just the way the art style and everything. It seemed kind of like a. I thought it was going to be kind of like an interesting, just whimsical, kind of strange fantasy story or something, but it's pretty dark.
Hmm.
It's kind of
Some
fucked up,
It's kind of
but
something
it's
I've totally overlooked them.
yeah.
Just I've always meant to try them, like I was saying. But when John came over, he put
Mhm.
in the new one. What's it? Is it BioShock Infinite, the newest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he put that in, and I wasn't expecting anything from it. But just watching him play that game is really kind of invested. Like I'm really interested in looking more deeper into the series and going to try it out. I think it looks like really
Yeah.
interesting, and it's not really what I was expecting. I don't know.
But
I like the setting for the third. It's the third, right? BioShock Infinite.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that
like this.
game is absolutely nothing like 1 or 2 though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the first two are set. They're set underwater or something, right?
Yeah.
And then this one's somewhere else in the sky or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the internet are gonna fucking.
They're all tied together, but and I shouldn't say they're nothing alike because the story is tied together on all 3 of them.
Uh huh.
But that one visually looks a lot different than the first 2,
Right.
and it does technically it does have its own standalone story. You could play that game without playing the other ones, and you'd still, I mean, kind of understanding it. It's confusing as fuck,
Yeah.
but you could just get into just that story. So as far as my list goes, Bioshock 1 would be on there. I
Mm.
played a little bit of 2, and I don't know, maybe I need to go back and play it again, but it didn't grip me as much as the first one did.
Yeah.
So,
You always get that with sequels when you really enjoy like a game. You get super excited for the sequel, and you expect it to be a lot bigger and better than what you're expecting. And
mm-hmm.
even I mean, it could still be a great game, but if it falls slightly short of your expectations, I feel like I can't enjoy them. Like I feel the exact same way you feel about BioShock 2 towards Condemned 2. And
Yeah,
I've not gave that like a fair chance, I'll admit. But giving it like 2 hours, maybe more,
yeah,
it didn't grab me and I thought, nothing like the first one, I'm not enjoying this.
yeah.
But no, it's just some
Bioshock 2 was still like the first one.
hmm
I think I need to go back and play it again, but I didn't really give it a chance. But I agree with what you're saying. Condemned 2 was a lot different than the first one. A lot
Yeah.
different. But it was still a good game, I thought.
I'm gonna go back to that as well. Just in the last 10 minutes of conversation, I swear to God, I've built up a backlog of games of like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think that I've already said, like, I don't know, 4 out of my 5 or something. I might have been. No, I've said 4 out of 5. So let's hear what Ross has to say.
So what else? One of the games I can remember from I think I was just starting high school at the time, as I
Mm-hmm.
went over to my friend's house and we played a game called Forbidden Siren. I think we discovered it's just Siren in America, has it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to expect from this game. It's sort of I don't know how you would describe the way it's like Japanese sort of olden Japanese movie sort of style. It's I don't. This is one of the hardest things I've had to describe. Anyway,
It's hard to describe. The most unique experience that I can think of.
yeah. Anyway, that's not important. People can Google that or check it out.
Yeah.
But the game is a sort of survival horror game where there's some form of zombies. I can't remember. It's been like 10 years. Um, and it had this unique feature where you could like see in the eyes, like you could see through the eyes of the zombies. I think it was called sight jacking.
Yeah.
So you get into this sight jacking mode, and then you can sort of tune around the way you would tune like a radio or a TV by swinging the analog stick around. And as you get to you rotate it round, you see through the eyes of one of the enemies, and if they're looking in your direction, you would see like a sort of symbol to say that they're facing you. So you would see like a purple cross or a green cross or something. And I remember every 2 minutes, I was so terrified of this game. I was like, okay, let's sight jack and see if we're safe, see if anyone's looking our direction. So I check it out and I rotate round. No, that's cool. He's looking over there. That's fine. Go around. Nope, he's facing the other way. I don't see my little icon. We're cool. So I'm progressing through one of the early stages, just getting to grips with the game mechanics. And I just start hearing some grunting and I was like, oh shit, something's happening here. Check my sight jacking. Nope, he's still fine. He's still over there. And then I just suddenly see through the eyes of the zombie him running right towards me. And that scared the fucking piss out of me like you wouldn't believe. Like just
Mhm.
seeing a zombie running towards my character, I was like, oh, Jesus. And I don't have a lot to say about that game because, in all honesty, I didn't play much of it because it did just terrify me. And it's
Mhm.
something I'd love to go back to. But
I don't know if I could play that one. That one was so fucking scary. They were like sprinted towards you, didn't they?
yes, yes, they did. Just that one little split second of seeing him sprint towards me was enough for me to pause the game and go, nope,
Mhm.
not today, not happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be down
That
for
was
playing
that
that.
was another one that was on PS2.
PS2, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've still
That
got
one
that
was
game.
fucking scary.
I'm not gonna bullshit and say I'm gonna go back to that because I would have to play that in broad daylight with people
I
in the room.
know. Yeah, have some people over.
Hey guys, you want to play this really neat game?
It's really fun. The game was fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah, you're not
And
kidding
then
me.
they did like a reboot. Well, no, it wasn't a reboot. It was, I guess technically it was a follow up to that on PS3. And I've actually heard, I haven't played it myself, but
Hmm.
I heard that it was really good.
I think I seen that on the PSN store. Did they release like I think they released it like episodically, didn't they? You know, like I think it was
Yeah,
every
I
couple of
think you're
months or
right.
something. I definitely gonna check. I want to check it out. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna play through it. I'd like to
It
look
was like
further into
years
it.
later, so the graphics are way better and
Oh,
whatnot.
oh, good. So it's more realistic and thus for
Yeah.
more terrifying. Oh, good.
But I believe the like sight jacking mechanic is still there.
Oh, that's the main thing. That kind of made that game. That was
It
the one
did.
thing that the one point that made me remember about that game.
Mhm. That shit was so fucking scary.
And probably the last game I can think that I would want to bring up, from a personal experience,
Mhm.
is Eternal Darkness on the GameCube.
I mean, if I could just like slow clap you right now, I would.
Go on. I think I deserve it. Thank you. Yep. It's all for me. Hmm.
That was me drifting. I drifted it off.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like that.
that.
I see what you've done there.
Okay.
Thank you. Special effects, people. We've got lots of them. Yeah, man, that game. Oh, but I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
I have not written anything, by the way. All this is just coming off the top of my head, so I'm getting like a million and one things flashing back. But I just want to talk about the sanity meter.
Mhm.
That's the unique feature of that game that stuck with me. It's how that game just fucked with you. So, like if you see some freaky shit, like the enemies in the game, like monsters or zombies, whatever they were, I can't remember. Uh,
Mhm.
you would slowly lose your sanity, and when it gets to a certain point, the game would fuck with you and start playing like tricks on you. Like what was some of the lesser effect ones, Trisha? Like some of the
That would affect like your game or your actual console.
oh yeah, that's right because you got ones.
I think we looked up a list of them
Yeah,
a while ago, and I think in game like your head would fall off,
yeah, that's right. Was it not your head would
and
fall off and start reciting poetry or something?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there was a massive list of all these effects you would get when you lose your sanity.
Just a tons of them. Your console would look like it didn't save, or it would just look like it turned off, or your TV would turn off, or your volume would start going down.
Oh yeah, that was one. I'm sure I remember. I don't know if it was first hand or if it was one of my friends who told me. But doesn't it come up as if like your display on your TV as if the volume's turning down? So
Mm-hmm.
naturally you reach over and turn it up, and then I think you hear a scream or there's a jump scare or something. I remember. I remember.
Dick move, Eternal
Yes,
Darkness.
dick move indeed. I'm sure I had one where my GameCube restarted. Like it comes up with a little jingle and a logo when
Uh
you put it
huh.
on. I'm sure something like that fucking happened to me, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. These are all games I've played, like over 10 years ago, really,
Yeah.
with the exception of Condemned and the 360 ones. So my memory's a little fuzzy on them, but I just
Yeah.
remember. I remember that game fucked with me as well, man.
Yeah. That was.
That was
I
a
didn't play through that one myself
that was definitely
either.
one of the gems on the GameCube, man. It's such an
It
underrated
for
system,
sure
the GameCube.
was.
Eternal Darkness, a game that will fuck with your mind so much, forever. You'll never get over it,
Never.
ever.
Ever.
Ever. Ever.
Good segue for that game is Amnesia. Because, and I could be totally off base here, but I think that that game, Eternal Darkness, was modeled after a story, like a really old story.
Mm-hmm.
This guy that basically starts losing his fucking mind, which is what Amnesia is based off of.
Right.
And that game scared the absolute piss out of me.
Is that the one we watched the playthrough of?
I can't remember. I know I made you watch some of it,
Mm-hmm.
and you were like, I don't want to play this.
Oh yeah, is that the one where I was squirming like a little bitch, going nope, 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 nope?
It's
Actually,
so it's the one where you like start in a mansion. I think I showed you the trailer for it. You
oh
start in a
yeah, yeah,
mansion
yeah.
and then you get up and you see like a blood trail and then you have to like go down this little hallway and it shows you like exploring through this mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I know it's really popular, especially on like YouTube tutorials and whatnot now, but if you haven't heard of Amnesia, basically your character slowly starts going insane the more that you are in the darkness.
Right.
So you start seeing things, you start hearing things. Literally, like the walls will start like warping.
That
There are
is the one.
monsters
Yeah.
later. It's fucking crazy. It's just one that really messes with you. The story's really good. I know a lot of people did a lot of like custom stories and whatnot, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the main game. It scared me quite a lot.
I've never been a big PC gamer, so
Mm-hmm.
I've totally missed out on that one. Apart from sitting and watching the gameplay of it, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that game looked awesome. I remember watching that. That was definitely the one we watched. I just remember that when you said about being in the darkness and the walls warping, that's the
Mm-hmm.
one we watched. I'd love to give that a try. What was the other PC game uh, you showed me at the same time as that?
I think it was Outlast.
Yes, it was. That was Outlast. That looked really
Yeah,
good
that
as
one's
well.
really scary also. That one, they, like, literally when I was talking to you, I showed you the game, and then I went and looked on Xbox Store, and it's now available on Xbox One.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I
Ah,
don't want to play it.
you don't?
No, it's so fucking scary.
Ah, you should play it, man. You'll be fine.
Absolutely not.
If you
You
want,
saw the gameplay, and you were like, fuck this game.
Yeah, but I'm not going to play it. That's fine. You're going to play it. I can sit in your ear. I'll give you some. I'll give you some moral support.
Okay.
We'll get
I'm not
through it
recording
together.
it, though, if I
Oh,
do play it. I'm not
oh,
doing that.
okay. That's fine. That's cool. I'll talk you into that later.
No.
So much,
Absolutely
yes.
not. Moving right along, did you have other games on your list that you wanted to talk about?
Um, Not in any great detail, but the Guardian of Darkness on PS1. I don't have
I've never even heard of that game, I don't think.
I don't have a great deal to say about it because it's a game I've
Oh,
played.
wait, yes, you showed me a little, like, 10-minute video, right?
Yes, yes, that's the one
Yes.
with the creepy dialogue and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I have like nothing to say on this game whatsoever because I didn't play much of it. Just through fear. I was a child. Don't judge me. But that's one out there that I think maybe a little bit more unknown. Maybe more people haven't heard of. So check it out, The Guardian of Darkness. It's definitely worth a look. And I can't really think of many other games. There's so many I've played, but none that have had a tremendous impact on the way I look at games or that have kind of scarred me or stuck with me. I've kind of adapted, but those are the main ones I wanted to kind of touch on and discuss a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. What about you?
Um, we already talked about Silent Hill 2, so I won't really go into Silent Hill 3, but that was another one. I played it right after I got done with Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
I really felt like I had to play Silent Hill 3, and that one was awesome. It
Mm.
it it jumps into the Silent Hill world a lot faster than Silent Hill 2 did.
Mhm.
So it didn't have quite the same impact on me, but it was still a great game. And I know this is it's dumb, but I have to talk about this game because I played it probably more than any other game
Yep.
when I first started playing. Anyway, was Haunted Mansion on PS2.
Haunted Mansion.
Uh, that's really dumb. I've
I
like I'm sure I've just gone down like several notches for everyone who's
well,
listening.
you're on the same notch for me because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What was Haunted Mansion?
Um, so there's a Haunted Mansion like ride at Disney. I don't know if that's how they created the game or not. But okay, give it a chance.
Right, I'm listening, man. I'm sorry. Right, serious
It's
times,
not
serious
based
times.
off the movie with fucking Eddie Murphy.
That'd be fucking awesome, though.
It would be ridiculous. But so me and my friend in high school, she didn't play any video games, but she liked to watch me play. So I would play like God of War over at her house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we I don't know where we found Haunted Mansion, but we picked it up. I've literally beat that game probably 100+ times. Not that it's that difficult to beat,
Yeah.
but I just played it so many times because whenever we got bored over like a weekend, we would just spend like the whole weekend and then play it until we beat it.
Right.
Um, but it was a really fun game. There were a lot of cool like puzzles in it. There's a lot to do. So even on a second or third or fourth or fucking 100th playthrough, there's still a lot to collect. And there's a lot of little like side little things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The gameplay was kind of interesting, but there's this one part. Each room has a different ghost that you have to defeat, and in this kitchen area, there was a ghost that throws plates at you and then like comes at you with a knife. And that part
Right.
scared the shit out of us every time.
Really, yeah.
Like, no matter how many times we played it, it always scared us every time.
I feel
I'm
compelled to
sure if I
check
went
out
back
this
and
game.
played it now, though, I'd be like, wow, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. That's probably the same with a couple of the games on my list as well. Like, yeah, it's just after time's passed, it becomes a bit laughable, really, doesn't it? With some of the, you think, oh, how could I possibly have been scared by this? It's like, look how
Mm-hmm.
pathetic this looks.
Just like little stuff scared us. Like, you go down this hallway once you're a significant way into the game. You're
Yeah.
going down this hallway, and it's got these little, you know, those like, what do you call those? Like, it's like a bust, like a head and a
Oh yeah.
shoulders.
Yep.
Yeah. There are a bunch of those like lined up on each side of this hallway, and as you walk down the hallway, they start looking at you. Like every one of them turns its head and like looks at you at the same time. And like little shit like that scared us so much.
I'm gonna have to look into this game. It's
Yeah.
horrible, like hearing someone talk about a game that they feel passionately about that played an impact and like on their life and stuff, and not being able to picture it in your head. I hate that.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to go
Mhm.
and do my homework. I feel like after this, well, I'm gonna have to drag myself away from Fallout 3. But at some point,
Finish that first.
yeah, at some point, I'm gonna dive headfirst into the Silent Hill series, and I'm definitely gonna check this Haunted Mansion out. I'm gonna look up some gameplay or a review or something like that, so I can just see what we're
Yeah,
talking about here.
I would say for sure play Silent Hill.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be sad if you didn't play Haunted Mansion because it's not
yeah, it
amazing.
sounds a bit goofy, but
It's kind of goofy. But it is one of the first like horror games that I got really into that scared me.
mm,
It's fucking goofy. But Silent Hill, definitely play that shit. And
I'm gonna get
Bioshock.
on there. Yes, Bioshock. Such a list for me. So
Yeah.
much to do. I'm gonna quit my job, just play games full time. I'm
I
gonna be a
mean, money.
professional arsehole. Who needs money?
Nah.
It's for fakes.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so I
Well,
think that
I feel like that was a pretty good chat. We had a lot to say.
yeah, I think that kind of wraps up everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Can I hit all the key points?
Comment below if you want to let us know which games scared the piss out of you
Yes,
that you
absolutely.
that stuck with you, something that you really remember.
I'd love to just hear because I mean you see so many videos on YouTube and articles about the top 10 scariest games of all time,
Yeah.
but I want to hear I want to hear some people's personal experiences with games. I want to hear their stupid, maybe embarrassing stories about playing games that have freaked them out, and yeah, I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, if you enjoyed the podcast, it would mean a lot to us if you would subscribe or like the page. And we've got a website coming out hopefully in the next week or two. That's going to be www.deadpixelgaming.co.uk. Check that out for sure. And you can also follow us on Twitter at DPG Reviews.
Yep.
I think that about wraps it up, Trisha.
It definitely does. Thanks for listening.
Thanks!